Emefiele. This was about 2 days ago or thereabouts. Or was it? Yeah,
it was
2 days
in
ago.
The papers yesterday.
Yes. Oh, okay. Okay. This is what I'm saying is from 2 days ago. All right. And it says the People's Democratic Party has demanded the immediate resignation and prosecution of the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. The party said this was necessitated by the allegations by the All Progressives Congress, APC, that he superintended over massive looting of funds in the CBN. The statement release says a party calls on the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to immediately invite Emefiele for questioning over allegations by the National Secretary of the illegal APC National Caretaker Committee, Senator John Akpan Udodehe, that the CBN governor supervised over the pillaging of the nation's vaults under his watch. Nigerians were shocked when Senator Akpan on Channels TV on September 15th, revealed that the CBN governor supervised over the stealing of money in the Apex Bank, a development for which he must be investigated by the EFCC, and if found wanting, prosecuted. All right, so, well, you took this story yesterday, you said.
No, I didn't talk about it. I just saw the headline, but calling for CBN's governor's resignation, I'm sure is connected to how badly the Naira is faring and has depreciated in the last couple of months, So it's not exactly surprising, even though I feel like there's a little bit of politicization with that.
Right.
However, when it comes to the bottom line, which is that the lives of Nigerians is perhaps at its worst at this time, especially when you consider how much things sell for in the market, how much purchasing power you have with your 20,000 naira or 30,000 naira minimum wage. It is nothing to smile about, to say the least. So there was also a report yesterday, I think, some other group was saying, or I think it was an economist that was saying the CBN governor not responsible for the depreciation of the naira. But we know that it is the person at the helms of affairs that you vent your frustrations at or show your disappointment to. It doesn't seem like there is wisdom in our financial policies, given the realities. Yes, everybody or some people would be quick to say, but the pandemic, and it's not just Nigeria, it's all over the world. However, there are countries that, even here in Africa, who are able to manage this well, and we don't see their currency devaluating like what we have here. Almost on every page you go to, from WhatsApp to Instagram and Facebook, you're seeing people lamenting. They bought this item, they went back to buy it 2 weeks later, and then the price had increased by 50%, in some cases 100%. And what even gets me more depressed is the detachment that there seems to be. These people don't seem to really know the suffering. Maybe they come out and say, yes, things are hard, but things will get better. But in the real sense of it, I don't think they appreciate how hard Nigerians are having it at this time. And it's demoralizing that nobody knows when this is going to get better.
Right.
Nobody knows how long more we have to suffer this. Even we know that, let's just do this for 2.5 years or 2 years, and then by the start of 2023 or by the start of 2024, life will be better. At least you know that there's a time span to the suffering. Nobody knows if these prices that are going up would eventually come back down, So it is. That's why I'm not excited to talk about the news this morning, really. I feel very down. I feel like maybe I shouldn't be feeling that way, but it's just I'm disappointed by the lack of concern and lack of positive action from our leaders to change our realities economically.
Right. And I mean, some people will say it's not rocket science. Other people will say, it's easier said than done. The way we see things, obviously, is different from, being there and being able to, ensure that things don't depreciate to the level where it has. But to the average person, what they just see is I mean, that I can't buy what I used to buy. I mean, if I go to the market now with 10,000, absolutely. I mean, it says in the news that it is instructive to note that when Emefiele took office as CBN governor in 2014, the naira exchanged for 164 naira to a dollar. Today, in the hands of Emefiele and the APC, the naira has tumbled to near 600 naira to a dollar, putting the nation's economy on its knees. And that's really, at the end of the day, is the bottom line that a lot of people want to see. It's just like maths. Sometimes, yes, we know that the workings have a lot to do with what comes out to your result. But on the other hand, if your workings are great and your result is still bad,
it's still nothing. And another thing that is very obvious to Nigerians but doesn't seem to be to the leadership is in times of a cash crunch, the very obvious thing to do is to cut expenditure. So we're seeing our leaders complain of how there's no money, of how the pandemic destroyed the economy, but we're not seeing that reflected in their lifestyle or their options or the kind of extravagance that they show. So it leaves Nigerians, just devastated.
I mean, this morning I was reading about how 6 states are owing pensioners up to about 36 months.
Oh my God.
In gratuity and all of that. And for me, we treat our senior citizens so poorly in this. And for me, yes, they were giving excuses as to why this and this happened, but there will never be an excuse good enough as long as I see that there's still some people who are still living that extravagant life, still buying cars.
Let's not even talk about extravagance. Let's talk about their own salaries. Are there ever excuses for them not getting their salaries? I don't think there ever is. These people, whether we're talking about the president, the governors, senators, whatever, I am sure they get their salaries as at
bonuses, allowances.
Yeah, in the case of these pensioners, we're talking people who have spent years and years working for different parts or institutions or ministries of this country, and then they suffer this way. And
sad.
That's it. There's no empathy. That's the thing. There's no empathy on the part of the leadership. They don't seem to understand how much people are suffering. And that is a failure. I mean, you have all the infrastructure in the world. Your people are starving. I would argue that you haven't done that much.
All right. What would you say? We're going to open phone lines later on. Hopefully, we will definitely have time to open phone lines, but we'll take a short break now. When we come back, we've been, asking for that third force. Is the third force here? When we come back, we'll talk about this. Don't go away.
Splash FM 105.5.
La 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 la.
Ìyá ọlọ́gbọ́n. Èwo lẹ̀ ń ṣe?
Mo ń ṣe oúnjẹ òwúrọ̀ pẹ̀lú mílìkì ìdàgbàsókè PIC 456.
Oúnjẹ òwúrọ̀ pẹ̀lú mílìkì ìdàgbàsókè PIC 456 kẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ó ní àlékún DHA, èyí tó ń ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn ìdàgbàsókè ọpọlọ tó jí pépé. Bákan náà ló tún ní káṣíọ̀mù, fítámìn D àti onígà ńlá protein láti mú àwọn ọmọ rẹ dàgbà kí wọ́n sì lágbára.
Mo fẹ́ràn ẹ̀. Màá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní fi mílìkì ìdàgbàsókè PIC 456 tó ní àlékún DHA, èyí tó ń ṣàtìlẹ́yìn ìdàgbàsókè ọpọlọ tó jí pépé fi kún àwọn èròjà ìṣaralóore fún àwọn ọmọ mi.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Dàgbà kó lágbára kó sì jáfáfá pẹ̀lú mílìkì ìdàgbàsókè PIC 456 lójoojúmọ́.
E get days wey things no just dey go your way, but e no mean say you go give up. Wetin you go do na to stay strong, hold on to your hustle, because one day you sef go reach the marks of better life.
Yes, so reach for the marks so you sef fit play for the big leagues. Sharp sharp go buy your GoTV decoder for only 6,900. Love it.
When I wake up in the morning, I need something to help me start my day. PIC 456 has DHA. It helps my brain to grow. It helps me to be smart. Oh, my own milk, oh, PIC 456, yeah. My own milk, oh, PIC 456, yeah. My own milk, oh, PIC 456, yeah. My own milk, oh, PIC 456, yeah.
Ready! Mommy, why are you always excited when we have Golden Morn?
Because it helps me nourish you. You know it contains
iron and vitamin C.
Yes, it does.
Enjoy Golden Morn with your family every day. It contains iron and vitamin C to nourish you day by day. Golden Morn, make every day amazing.
Bọ́ọ̀ni o, ọ̀gá kẹ́míìsì, ẹ fún mi ní M&B paracetamol.
Òun rèé.
Èyí ṣe pupa. Pálí M&B paracetamol ní òǹtẹ̀ gàràgbà lára tí wọ́n kọ 70 ọdún sí. Èyí ló jẹ́ kí M&B paracetamol jẹ́ ojúlówó oògùn tí dojú ìjà kọ ẹ̀fọ́rí àtara ríro. Àwọ̀ funfun sì ni wọ́n fi kọ M&B paracetamol sí orí sáṣẹ̀tì pupa tí ń bẹ náà rẹ̀.
Dúró kó o ṣàyẹ̀wò fínífíní o, kó o rí i dájú wípé M&B paracetamol aláwọ̀ pupa ni wọ́n fún ọ. Ilé-iṣẹ́ May&B Nigeria PLC tí ń ṣe ojúlówó oògùn ní í ṣe M&B paracetamol. M&B paracetamol, ìrora ò lè dá ọ dúró.
Tí ìrora kò bá lọ lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ méjì, rí dókítà.
Milo! Yes!
Tell me first, why do I give you Milo every morning?
Because every day I play like a baller, I run like a sprinter, and learn like a scholar, so I need all the energy I can get. You see?
I see very well.
Give your kids winning energy. Milo Active Go, with the goodness of malts, milk, and cocoa, helps them make the most of every day. Milo, the energy to go further.
Wálé, gbà owó rẹ̀ tètè bá mi lọ sanwó ìlò móhùnmáwòrán wa ní kíákíá kó tó di pọ́tọ́. Èmi ò fẹ́ pàdánù ohun tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin Priya àti Rajiv lálẹ́ yìí o.
Màámi, ẹ̀yin àtàwọn eré bọ́ọ̀lì wọ̀nyí ṣá, ó dáa, ẹ fún mi ní ìṣẹ́jú kan.
Ẹ̀wẹ̀ ni tí mo ránṣẹ́ tó ń fi mí sọ̀rọ̀ lórí WhatsApp.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ gẹ́lẹ́ ni màámi, mo ń bá Ziva sọ̀rọ̀ lórí bó ṣe máa di ṣíṣe ni.
Ziva kẹ̀.
Ziva ni àgékúrú Zenith Intelligent Virtual Assistant. Òun ni ọ̀nà ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ tuntun láti ṣètò báńkì látòrí WhatsApp. Òun rẹ̀ o, owó èlò móhùnmáwòrán ti di sísan látòrí àkáǹtì Zenith Bank mi.
Ara rẹ̀ o. Jọ̀wọ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ziva o.
Ziva ti dé o, ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ ìrànwọ́ Zenith Bank lórí WhatsApp. Ní báyìí, o lè fi owó ránṣẹ́ kí o ra owó ìpè tàbí data, sanwó ohun èlò, dènà káàdì tàbí ṣí àkáǹtì tuntun ti Zenith Bank pẹ̀lú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ohun mìíràn láti WhatsApp. Ìwọ ṣá ti ṣe àfikún nọ́mbà yìí 070-4000-4422 lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ tó fi ń gba àláàtì kí o sì fi ọ̀rọ̀ ìkíni háì ránṣẹ́ láti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Zenith Bank, fún àǹfààní ara rẹ.
Chop life, live life, do the things wey go make you happy. Them no like I'm too much left. Everybody gets your flavor. Chop life, drink up, one glass of Martin as you step down. Them no like I'm too much left. Everybody gets your flavor. Oh, your flavor. Elele, 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 yeah. Oh, your flavor.
Maltina, share happiness. Our friend Oliver is what you call a man with a huge appetite. Gigantic, actually. And if there's one phrase we have come to know Oliver for, it is this.
More data, please.
No matter what we offer him.
More data, please.
So guess what we did? We heard Glow created new data plans for people like Oliver, and we got him exactly that. And guess what Oliver said?
Excuse me, please, is this all for me? Only me?
Now, Oliver certainly has more than enough data. All thanks to the Glow Mega Data Plans.
With the longer validity you get on Glow Mega Data Plans, you can work from home with ease, run your business better, download non-stop, stream music and movies endlessly, learn online, and share data with anyone. No worries. Get 225 gigabytes at 30,000 Naira for 30 days, 425 gigabytes at 50,000 Naira for 90 days, and 1 terabyte at 100,000 Naira for a year. Dial *777# now to start enjoying these mega plans.
Glow Unlimited.
We're kicking some folks out of the market this season.
I tell you, okay, everyone else in this bed with me, they're losers.
We're the station that beats all the competition. And we'll prove it as soon as we hear any competition.
105.5 Splash.
Morning Splash.
Morning Splash.
Morning Splash.
All right, welcome back. It is still the Big Breakfast Show on the Friday, and of course, we've been waiting for it.
You
You were actually going to let them go this weekend, going to the weekend, without hearing that. No, that's weekend.
Nah.
good to have Oluwaseun Akinola join us.
I'm sorry I came in here this late. Sorry about that.
Actually, I know.
Is this yellow
This is green. Electric green.
Okay, did you hear okay?
No, lemon is
green.
Yes, this is electric.
Yes. Running will be good for people that choose like a big colors.
Cockroach red, cockroach brown. So please, let's help settle this. Go on Facebook and let us know what color you think this is, please.
Okay.
I definitely think it's morning.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, back to the news. This week were we excited to hear prominent Nigerians, including a former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Atahiru Jega, and the political economist, Professor Pat Utomi, will on October 1st unveil a mega political movement. The Punch on Wednesday gathered the mega group, which would later transform into a political party, would challenge the country's dominant parties, the APC, the All Progressives Congress, and the PDP, the People's Democratic Party. This came to the fore on Wednesday as INEC told the Punch that 95 groups had applied to it to be registered as political parties, 95. But for the new mega group planned for October 1, it was learned that talks had reached an advanced playing field. It's only been APC and PDP. Were you excited? Are you excited about this, or are there certain people there that you feel...
Okay.
You're not quite sure about.
Well, third force. Let's talk about third force. I do not think that at this time of the day, particularly in reference to the 2023 election, that any third force nationally could be viable or will work. That's the first thing I'd like to say, that the time is a bit late for any gathering of like minds, if there's something like that, to come together and want to wrestle power from APC or PDP. That's my first, understanding. Second understanding is that there had been back and forth about third force. It didn't work 2015. It didn't work 2019. I don't think it will work this time. Now let me bring issues here. Jega yesterday had retracted that information. He said he still. I'm going to read this. In a swift reaction to the report circulated online news media on Tuesday, Professor Atahiru Jega said that he remained a member of People's Redemption, PDP or APC. They should go to the fringes. They should go to the subnationals and see how much they can garner from there before they move to the national level. That's my opinion about it. Third and final, before I give the floor to my colleague here, the people need to understand what they want, who they want, and go along that line, rather than allow the political parties to make these choices for them. That's my opinion.
Well, I would say that the main reason why I personally would think this would not work is the disagreement and the disorganization that's already involved with this, even when they're starting. I mean, one would have thought that it would be one voice they're speaking with, but Pat told me saying, I think is ideological. I was talking ideological, not political party. Jega is saying, no, I'm still my own political party. I've not joined any new political. So there seemed to be like a dichotomy of opinions in the starting period already. So that doesn't give it much of a credence in my own opinion. Plus, they're going against people who've ruled this country for years. The PDP has structure, Maybe it's falling apart. Maybe it's not as strong as it's always been, but it ruled this country for 16 years. So they know how to play this thing called politics. The APC, well, they've surprised Nigerians. Whether or not their rulership at the center is what Nigerians thought it would be, I would leave for the listeners to answer. But they too have garnered experience in how to play this game. They were able to finish their first term, went in for a second term. That is in their credit. So I don't think it's going to be easy for a group of people to just, without properly coordinating themselves and knowing what their strategy is for defeating this government, come together. And I don't think it's going to be that easy. I don't think it's going to be that smooth for them. However, if by some miracle they're able to, I think it would be fantastic. For one is some of the people here are intellectuals. You have people who have spent their lives in the academic in the academia. You have people who have a lot of experience, maybe not political, but I feel like there could be something there but it would have to depend on how they're able to galvanize themselves and what strategies that they have. Of course, it would be fantastic to have a third force if they all agree, because we need saving. I don't know whether our salvation will come from the third force, but I'm part of those people who believe that the PDP and the APC have offered us all they could probably possibly ever have to offer, so we should look somewhere else for that. But in coordination and in starting up, I don't have the confidence that these people, the way they've started, have
not anything
so
phenomenal will come out of this.
So the argument is neither here nor there.
Right.
If you look at it critically,
because a lot of them have even distanced themselves, like we said, from the fact that it's a party.
Majority of these people that you saw on that list are establishment persons.
And some of them belong to even the APC and the PDP.
Yes.
Like Pastor Tony,
and so
for instance.
they are still looking at, could I get what I want in APC or PDP? Is it wise for me to make this move and go? And then you talk about disagreement. Remember what happened to them last time.
These were not the exact same group of people.
It's still the same
and I think,
ideology.
Is it? They've not even told us what their ideology is.
Good governance.
They said they wanted electoral reform.
Yes. Is that ideology?
Yes. No. The ideology is that they want, in a certain way, to rule Nigeria differently from the way these people are ruling Nigeria.
Everybody would say that. I don't think that's like...
So the point is, they want something different from what we have.
What is that something?
Yeah, they will tell you.
For me, why I say they've not told us their ideology is a belief system, something that is at the core of what you believe, and it is on that you then place and build your party. So they've not told us. I think they are still trying to figure out that for themselves. So
and because also they're still trying to, well, in my opinion, still trying to pretend. I think for me it was more a testing of the waters, in my opinion. So they may come out and say, we're not starting a political party, because like you said, a lot of them are established in certain parties, but we've seen people who are established in certain parties go on to do, other things. So for me, I believe it was more, it was obviously a caucus of people who, people would say it's different from normal political, faces that we see, but it was more like a testing of the waters. And for them, it's like, now that people are now more curious, until anything is established, I don't think they will really even have an ideology, because they're already saying it's not even a party. They're just having a meeting of people who are passionate about the country.
Maybe because of use of words, but the truth is they want to rescue Nigeria.
How? The APC wanted to rescue Nigeria. Look where we are.
APC wanted the change for Nigeria.
So they wanted to change also that will be.
They brought a change to Nigeria, and indeed they brought a change.
Yeah.
Couldn't you see the change?
Yeah, I'll be real.
All right, so it's obvious. So
these ones want to start a conversation, hopefully that will help, that will create some sort of new path for Nigeria.
These ones are on a rescue journey, and so we'll wait and see how they rescue Nigeria. Oluwaseun Akinola on Facebook says, while I believe it's not late, as there is a whole year 2022 ahead, the like minds here aren't political juggernauts. Yes, they are national figures, academics and technocrats, but in the political stage, can they politic and can they go dirty like these guys? Because wrestling power from these money bags and politicians isn't theory, now practical. I agree with him, and that was what I want to say to you, that look, the money needed to run politics in Nigeria belongs to these established people of PTB and APC, and the people are yet to change from these compensations. The Nigerians are yet to change. So if you come out, if a Kingston Moghalu comes out and say, I want to be president of Nigeria, and is not willing to go through any of these two parties that we talked about, he probably will call a rally and he will see only few people there.
Right.
But when PDP calls a rally, I don't know how they do it. You see mammoth.
Yes, I mean, money obviously exchanges hands.
When APC calls a rally, you see a mammoth crowd. So when obviously Ekwesili called a rally in Ibadan the last time, it was a handful of us that were there to see what she did.
But is it about the crowd that turns up? Though?
Yes, because they're the ones that will turn up.
I mean, this is the 21st century. And these people were saying they're technocrats, they're from the academia, they have knowledge in other... Aren't there other areas that they can tap into? It has never happened before. But I'm saying that if you really want something and you don't have the money, the cash to make it happen, you can think outside the box. This is the kind of things that will convince Nigerians that you actually have the ideas that can revolutionize the country.
And I like that idea, but it's only an idea. In Nigeria, it's
how do you say it?
Like the underdog?
Not not underdog exactly, but an opposition leader comes up and defeats. I've forgotten the party, the country. Just recently, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago here in Africa, that the opposition leader won. And in the coverage of that election, it wasn't like he spent money more than the incumbent. It was the people, the youth, it was reported, that took it upon themselves to change.
So that's why I disagree with Mr. Seun that I don't think it's too late. I just feel like our mindset is not where that... the majority of the people, I don't think our mindset is quite there, where the underdog can...
When you say it is not too late, you consider certain factors. Consider the people of Nigeria.
Exactly.
Are the people in Nigeria ready for this move you're talking about?
That's
Have we changed from receiving money from politicians before we vote?
One Congo of beans is 2,000. I think that should be that should do it for anybody that is thinking. One Congo of Oloyin beans.
We have some places where people are poor, but still.
So you now think that people will not collect that one measure of Oloyin beans, which is 2,000 naira, to go vote? You think they've changed?
I want to think that they have changed.
No.
I think that this reality,
you are
as we have it now, has opened the eyes of people.
No.
I would not want to believe that, given the same circumstances as were presented in 2015 and 2019, Nigerians will still do this. Like, how obvious could it possibly be at this point?
We'll wait. We'll simply wait for it. But I'm just wondering if you think Nigerians have changed from receiving money to vote.
Even if they receive the money, I believe that
they will still vote their conscience.
Yes.
They'll vote for who? Vote for the ideological people, or vote for established politicians?
It's too early to say what that is. I mean, we'd have to wait to see how these people...
Unfortunately, that's all we can do today on the show. Thank you very much for listening and for watching as well on Facebook. We appreciate you, and I hope you've taken something away today. All right, till next time when we're back your way, I'm Ronke Giwa Onafuwa.
I hope that we will temper our expectation with caution. I'm Oluwaseun.
I would say go out and have faith. Nigeria will be better. Charity Jerome, good morning.